Good evening, everybody, and a warm welcome to another episode of TLC Coach Talks. Today, I'm going to have a very interesting guest, Dr. S. Kalirajan, who's from our Atlas Mastermind, and he's been the founding member of our Atlas Mastermind. And it gives me great pleasure to welcome Dr. S. Kalirajan. Welcome, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. I'm very glad to be part of this TLC Coach Talks. It has been a wonderful platform created by TLC to meet all of you online and then share the views of each of the coaches, how they have grown up as a coach. And I'm really privileged to get this platform today. Thank you very much, Preeti, for giving me this opportunity.
It's a pleasure, honestly, because first thing I'd like to point out is that in TLC we have different kinds of coaches, and a very unique niche is what our Dr. Kalirajan is. So when I spoke to him for the first time, I asked him, the doctor, is that a PhD or a MBBS? And he said it's a PhD. So Dr. Kalirajan, if you can only share a little bit about your background, which industry you're part of, and what's your doctorate in?
Okay, good. Actually, basically, I'm a civil engineer by profession, but my career has been almost 30 years. I was part of nuclear industry in India, earlier part of a public sector undertaking, and then moved to L&T, which is a conglomerate, handling various project facets of nuclear industry. Then last 2 years, I have been into training and coaching the leaders, project leaders, and developing project leaders for L&T because the market is growing and the size of the projects are really growing bigger and bigger. Once upon a time, maybe 5,000, 6,000 crores is the turnover of a company. Today, it's grown up like 20 billion, 22 billion size of the company. So we need a lot of project leaders to handle various projects. So that is how my involvement in the company's training and coaching business. We have an institute within the L&T. So I'm heading the Chennai division of institute as a deputy dean. And we run various training programs for the project leaders. So that is how my journey has been all along.
So it's really amazing, a civil engineer as a student, then pursuing a profession, working in the nuclear manufacturing, nuclear division. And
construction, basically.
And then getting into coaching and training. So what was that one trigger point, because I think the civil engineering construction line field is very unique. How did you just decide to kind of switch into coaching and training?
It has been a wonderful trigger point. Way back in 2007, once I happened to be the chief guest for one of the engineering colleges to inaugurate a seminar on Civil Engineering Association seminar. So we were about 5 people sitting on the dais, and except me, everybody were doctorates. So then when the MC addressed me, they addressed me as a doctor. That triggered me that, why can't I do doctorate? And then, I also become a doctor. So 2007, I registered for my doctorate. But in the course of my, journey towards my doctorate, I happened to visit a lot of colleges as a speaker. Though it is like a technical, events on civil engineering and nuclear safety, all those things, that became kind of a regular phenomena for me to visit various engineering colleges, various institutes. But there happened in 2011 a great impactful scenario. In nuclear industry, we had a big blow in 2011 where Japan, one major accident took place. So that accident has put us in a big trouble in India after 6 months from the accident. So that is more, interesting to note that up to 6 months, you don't see any implication, but after 6 months, you see a huge implication. And I was part of a project, which is a Russian collaborated project down south in Tamil Nadu, near to Kanyakumari, which is one of the flagship projects in nuclear, I would say, for India. So the project came to a halt for 6 months. So then the major issue was, how do we reach out to public? We failed to reach out to the public. So that was the finding, I could say. And I was made as in charge of public awareness. So that is where my training or coaching or keynote speeches started, I would say.
Mm.
Because we started thinking, we have a, like, you discuss with your team, how do you convince the public? One side you have students, one side you have literate, one side you have, other side you have illiterate people. But the concept of science, concept of nuclear science, has to be explained to all these people in a simple words. So that is where the thing has started. And I used to visit, almost more than 150 events to
Mm.
deliver lectures and address thousands of people in front of you, maybe in students or public. That is how the keynote speeches started. So that interest, continuously, carried forward as a mentoring or coaching. So I thought, let me make a career out of it, because I found that I had a inclination towards that. In the meantime, what happened was, like, I was also doing a course, Train the Trainer course in 2018
Okay.
in Chennai.
Mm.
And that also added, to the to understand the training in a structural way.
Mm.
Then, of course, in March 2020, all of us were, locked up, wherein I just browsed it. TLC's, level 1 course. I took up that, and that is
Good.
how the journey with TLC started for me.
Yeah. I think what I find most interesting in what you're sharing is that the topic or the niche that you have is civil construction as well as nuclear safety. And it's amazing that you're so passionate about talking about it. And I'm thinking, what were your challenges when you were trying to, in that phase or even now, training people when it comes to, it's fairly a very dry subject, okay? If I have to talk
Yes.
about engineering and construction, somebody will find it interesting if they have a passion for it, okay? And especially, I think project management plays a very important role in this industry, in this sector.
Yeah.
So how do you tackle the challenges that are unique to your niche, and what has helped you in managing the training in a very structured way for these people?
Yeah, I'll start with my old training process. Like, when I said it's challenging to convince the scientific terms and scientific field, theories to illiterate general public, it becomes a little more difficult. For
Hmm.
example, the questions used to be, uh, how does a nuclear accident takes place?
Okay.
So that's a very simple question, and whether the plant what we are constructing is safer against accidents.
Hmm.
So generally, if you look at, we call it, in a physics, nuclear physics, we call it decay heat.
Hmm.
But if I tell somebody decay heat, people may not understand.
Correct.
But decay heat is nothing but the residual heat. Once the plant comes to a shutdown, there is a residual heat which has to be transferred. So many times I've seen that it is spontaneous. Spontaneously, you get an example when you relate the theory to the life.
Wow. Yeah, I
So
think.
the one simple example immediately comes to my mind. I mean, came to my mind in one of the sessions was, it was in a college. So
Hmm.
I asked them, "Do you use the iron box to press your cloth?"
Hmm.
They said yes. Some of them said yes. I said, "When you switch off, can you just touch it?" They said no. So there will be a heat. So that is nothing but a residual heat. And if you keep that, iron box in a vacuum,
Hmm.
how long will it take to cooler?
Cool off. Correct.
So it will not cool off because there is no medium to carry the heat. So it
Hmm.
will remain as hot body. So the same thing applies here also. So once you link up these life examples
Hmm.
to the theory, it will be easy for the people to understand. Similarly, when I come to project management,
Hmm.
uh, for a younger people who start their career as a project manager or project engineers, a big, glamorous words of project manager will not get into their mind.
Correct.
So I start with an example of marriage. How a marriage
Okay.
happens?
Hmm.
So marriage happens. It starts with if you consider marriage as a project, you think that there is a boy side or a girl side, and there are two parties in a project. Also, you have customer, client, and the contractor. So
Hmm.
these two parties have to marry together to conduct the marriage as a project. So in that process, there are a lot of agreements which takes place, negotiations which takes place, and the implementation when it come, there are people. I know my father used to prepare a notebook, open a notebook, and then say what are the activities I need to do.
Hmm.
like, invitation printing, designing invitation, printing invitation, distribution, and the detailed list is made. When to go, which city I have to go to invite, who are all the people to be invited, and what is the budget. So everything to handle a project, it can be linked to a marriage as a project. So if you can simply link it, it is easier for people to understand. That's what I used to start with. Then we get into details of other issues.
Amazing, amazing. I think it's you have a very unique style, I must say, of relating things which are very, taking a very serious subject and making it so relatable to everyday life situations. I must compliment you on that. It is really
Thank
fantastic.
you. Thank you.
So, when you say project management training, is it more to do with projects which are in civil construction field, or is it even organizational development that you look at, or it's just purely in terms of, uh, you
Well,
know,
today I am doing a project management for the L&T project managers. And L&T project managers, they manage construction projects, they manage manufacturing projects,
okay,
they manage IT projects also, technology projects, IT projects, because L&T has got different, verticals. So the project management is a concept which is generic in nature.
true.
So which can, as I apply to a marriage as a project,
Yeah,
so it can be applied to any kind of projects.
yeah,
So suppose you take a HR project, organizational development. You want to develop an organization in such a way that becomes your scope.
correct.
So once the scope is defined, then all the project management complexities will get into it.
Okay, I think I like what you're saying is that even having this FB Live is a project by itself. I would say, so everything you can apply project management principles. Just to understand, in India right now, how scientifically. I mean, I know that when you see internationally, they are very particular about project management, right? From risk management to the tools that they use, the scientific methodology that they use. Whereas in India, especially in the field that you are talking about in terms of IT, civil construction, infrastructure, it's fairly backward, is my understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, what do you think? Where is India in terms of project management systems today?
So I would not say that we are backwards, but we are in the middle. You can
Okay.
say that. Off late, about 10, 15 years back onwards, once the IT industry came into, India in a big way, and IT industries had a lot of their, clients, customers from abroad,
Correct.
mainly Europeans and Western countries,
Mm.
and they started demanding a PMP certification for project managers being posted on their projects. So
Mm.
it becomes all the more important for the Indians to go through the certification process,
Mm.
which is run by an institute called Project Management Institute from USA.
Yeah.
And I happened to, get that certification done in 2009. So
Mm.
since then I'm a PMP certified person. So it becomes today if you see IT managers are all mostly PMP certified, because unless otherwise they complete PMP, they will not be able to raise to the cadre of a project manager.
Mm.
But coming to the construction, see, there are many, many developments which are happening, and companies are going global nowadays.
Mm.
Like, for example, L&T, we do businesses, construction business across the globe, at least if not in Western countries, certainly Gulf countries, Southeast Asia, everywhere we are spread out. So when some project manager is being sent to a foreign country, certainly this certification and knowledge about this, that is very, very essential. Because one biggest thing is that, when we go to other countries, we don't go alone.
Mm.
We take partners. And
Okay.
when we take partners, they normally come from European background or a local company
Mm.
who are well versed with this kind of project management principles and all. So to manage the status quo, you need to be trained on those areas and certified.
Mm.
So that is the thing. So we run many training courses and we tie up with a lot of global universities. For example, we run a lower level training program in collaboration with SDA Bocconi of Italy.
Okay.
And we ran a senior level program with UT Austin of US.
All
And
right.
we also run other programs in collaboration with the IIMs, like IIM Calcutta, IIM Indore. So we try to make our project managers to the level of acceptance to the world. So that way I would say that this institute where I'm working now was started in 2008. So in the last 12 14 years, the institute has been training at least 3,000 to 4,000 managers every year.
Wow, that's a huge number, I say. And I
Yes.
think what I'm hearing is that there is a lot of cross learning that's happening from
Yes.
the local partners. I'm going to ask you a very, commonsensical question or something. As a project manager, would you rely on your intuition or would you rely on a plan? I mean, there is always that, catch 22 situation. If I have a crisis, should I
Yeah.
go with my intuition or should I go with the plan that I've put forward? Because,
See, project management will teach you how do you plan for the uncertain situations.
hmm,
Okay, so there the intuition doesn't come into picture because the uncertainties with the probabilistic, calculations, you can very well work on certain uncertainties. We define risk in, various ways. One is, known risk.
hmm,
Another one is unknown risk.
correct.
Like nobody expected that, pandemic will happen like this.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So there are unknown risks for which you are supposed to be, capable of handling. So there are mechanisms, there are statistical methods to assess if any uncertain situation happens during the during the project period. How do you address it? What is the contingency you need to build in? See,
Build up.
for example, for our own life,
Hmm.
we go for insurance. Okay, and insurance is to take care of your health issues, which can happen. There is no surety that it will happen, but still we go for an insurance. So there are risk mitigation measures which are applicable for a project. Certain mitigations are, transferring the risk to some other agency, like taking insurance for the project. I'm
Hmm.
transferring the risk to an insurance agency. So like that, there are various methods to handle it. So the plan, going by the plan is all the more important. So 95% of the cases, we teach and train them to have the plan on board. And yes, there are 5% of chances that you have to use your brain to react to the immediate situation.
Yes.
Obviously, we cannot rule out totally.
Yes. I think the way you have explained the concepts about project management and the kind of work that you're doing, it speaks volumes of your experience, the depth of your, understanding of the subject. If I may ask you, how has TLC helped you to take your training to the next level?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think I should thank TLC for structuring my, training or coaching practice. See, recently, we designed a competency assessment framework
Okay.
for the L&T employees. So, of course, we worked with a consultant who worked for about 9 months period with us. And it was really useful to drive the discussions, drive the outputs in such a way that it comes out with a structure.
Hmm.
So that structure probably TLC has really helped me to understand how do you really define a training program and how do you assess the training needs basically. Actually,
Hmm.
that assessment is going to decide what is the need, where is the gap. It's a gap analysis, and that has come out very nicely. We're going to launch, in the month of May for the first batch. So that way, TLC has helped me. One. Second thing is the kind of group TLC has got. So I have been all along in technical groups, project management, engineering. Now today I have a lot of friends, a lot of coaches who are from other areas, other disciplines. So I get to know so many things. Since I have the habit of linking my, technical and technology with the lifestyle, I think it is easy for me to now get the feel or get the idea about other fields also very easily. That way, I think TLC has helped me a lot.
I think you have kind of highlighted the two strongest pillars of learning for us. One is our community, of course, the bonding and the affiliation that we feel. And I feel so proud to have you in our community because we always thought, that, excuse me, that our community was for coaches and trainers who are solopreneurs or entrepreneurs. But as an employee also, we are so glad that, we are able to add value to your coaching training work that you're doing. Now, I know that you are joining us for the annual conference in another 2 days. We are all so excited to go to Pondicherry.
Yes.
I believe you're launching your book cover at that conference. Tell us a little bit about your book, please.
Yeah, actually, I started my journey to write a book long back till one itself,
Hmm.
but somehow it got delayed, and because I was not really sure what am I going to write in that book. In
Hmm.
fact, my earlier book was in a differently titled. I was working on clarity, creating clarity, and all. Then I understood after niche. Once again, I went for a niche clarity session.
Hmm.
Then I understood that was not my niche.
Hmm.
Project management is my niche.
Hmm.
But parallelly, I also do executive career coaching.
Okay.
I'm a certified, international certified career coach. So I also do career coaching for various people. So I want to connect these two. The concept of project management in a career.
Okay.
So, in fact, from Atlas, we are releasing a book called Aspire to
Yeah.
Inspire.
The co-authored book also is getting released.
Yeah, that is going to be released. So I have written a one chapter in that by name "Career by Choice or Chance."
I think, yeah, I think, when you just mentioned project management in your career, it's such an important concept. I think, in our generation, it was more accidental. So we used to just enter into a career based on how we scored or whatever was the advice
Yes.
given by our family. But I like the idea of the way you're projecting it, that that's also a project. You need to plan for it. You need to have risk management for it. It
Yeah.
sounds fabulous. I look forward to reading that chapter from your book. It sounds really exciting.
But my book is going to elaborate that, in depth. The book is named "Dissolve to Evolve."
Okay.
So that will shortly, I'll complete it and release it.
We are looking forward to your book as well, and we are
Thank you.
it's just understanding the various facets. I think what really impresses me is that I'm a very curious person, and I think most of us are. We're all learners in our community, and I
Yeah.
think the wisdom that you share, in some way we keep reflecting and we keep thinking about how we can use that in our life, and it sounds pretty exciting. So now we come to the very exciting part of our TLC talks, which is a few rapid fire questions. Okay, what is the one big project that you're working on right now, which you're excited about?
See, I'm working on developing a senior leadership in the company.
Okay.
That is an exciting project because senior people means they are 40 plus, and it's very difficult to break the nuts. In fact, today afternoon I had a session for 3.5 hours on mega project management, and there are a lot of questions being asked, and it is very tough to enter into their mind. A youngster is very easy to penetrate.
Hmm.
But my job, dealing with youngsters, my other faculty members take care. But being a deputy dean of the institute, we take care of the senior people,
Senior people.
and that is the biggest challenge, I would say.
Hmm. Okay. And one piece of advice that you got, which you will use to the core, or you will tell somebody that never to use. Either ways, any one advice that you thought really changed your life.
No, the one piece of advice I would say that when I joined my earlier organization as a entrant in way back in 1989, I was just a graduate that time. So my chief engineer told me on joining, look, all you guys, we were 15 people joined together,
Hmm.
and he said, all you people have been called, and you have joined this institute in, I mean, organization, not to find faults in the contractor's work. If your job is only to find faults, I can call anybody walking on the road to come out with a list of mistakes. So you guys have to bring solutions to the mistakes or
Hmm.
solutions to the problems. That is why you have been hired, and your solution can be wrong, but
Hmm.
at least the attitude of looking for a solution instead of a problem, it started way back in 1989 for me. And today we are teaching project leaders, as one of the competencies we are working on, solution focus.
Hmm.
In fact, we changed over from problem solving. That is what normally management institutes always teach. We don't talk about problem solving, we talk about solution focus. So
Wow.
that mentally you get a change. Once your title is solution focus, you're mentally directed towards a
Okay.
solution, finding a solution instead of solving a problem.
I think, yeah, in the corporate culture, this paradigm shift is evident. I think of late now, people are realizing, and especially post COVID, I think people value whatever positivity, whatever collaborations, or whatever participation that they can give to become positive impact rather than,
Yes.
so the choice of words. Very, very well said. I think that's one person can change your life, and I think that was your earlier boss. So I'm
Yes. Yes.
he's been a great mentor for you. Okay,
Correct.
if you choose to be born as somebody else, whom would you choose and why?
I want to be born like me. I'm very contented about my face, and I'm able to reach out to people and help some people. That is more satisfying. So I'm
Yeah,
I'm good as I am.
yeah. I think all of us have a gift, have a unique ability to,
Yes.
to share with this world, and I think God has been kind to give us those opportunities. So yes, we should choose to go back and do that.
Yeah.
So, what does Dr. Kalirajan do for fun? What is the fun part of your life? I mean, how do you?
Yeah. In the last few years, I don't have anything funny.
Mm,
Earlier, I used to play something. See, when I was in a earlier organization, we were living in a closed township having about 1,000 residents.
okay.
So after coming back from the office, you don't find me at home because I'll be socially active, organizing some social events, melas, or we did have a temple built under my leadership,
Wow.
and we do a lot of activities under the name of the temple. So all those things I used to do. But after coming to Chennai and joined L&T, most of the things gone.
Mm,
Because I started focusing on my children's education, because that's the main reason why we moved out of NPCIL and coming to Chennai.
mm,
So that is how it changed. But today, if you ask my fun, nothing except sometimes I like watching only comedy serials and all, or like, Sarigama program,
mm,
because that is more soothing to the minds. I
yeah.
don't watch any movies also, I don't watch. And if at all comedy movie, I watch.
Mm. So, if you had a problem or a crisis today at 2 a.m., whom would you call and why?
There are few friends for me who can respond immediately within Chennai. That is what there are very close friends. Few of them are there, certainly. They can immediately respond.
Yeah. And if you had to choose a vacation, would it be a beach or would it be a hill station?
We would like to go to hill station rather than a beach, because we are living in beach area only. Chennai is in the
Yeah,
beach.
actually,
And I
that
lived
was.
14 years on the beach itself
Oh,
earlier.
hmm. All right. Okay, it has been really great talking to you. I think such a complex subject, but your leadership qualities, your ability to understand the practical aspects of project management, making it so easy for anybody to understand and digest, and doing all of that in the framework of having employment. Very few
Yeah.
people who think beyond, okay, this is my paycheck and this is what I'd like to do. I think you go beyond that. So I'm sure your organization is also very lucky to have you. We are very lucky to have you in our community, and you're a diamond member. So many congratulations for
Thank
introducing
you. Thank you very much.
to our community. And we look forward to seeing your book, to all the great work you do, to keep impacting the world through your message. Thank you once again for joining us. And I look forward to meeting you in TLC Pondi Tilt Conference.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Preeti. And thank you very much, TLC platform, to give me this great opportunity to talk to all the coaches in TLC and, of course, beyond coaching community. And it has been a wonderful opportunity for me. Thank you once again.
All right. Thank you everybody for watching today's episode. Stay tuned to our page. We're going to have an exciting conference event happening at Pondicherry, and we're going to have very good keynote speeches by three of our dignitaries. You will see a lot of posters and a lot of action happening on our page. Stay tuned to our page for some exciting news. I'll be back on TLC Talks after the Pondicherry trip in the first week of May. Till then, take care and bye bye. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you very much.